We're
We're
going
live, it looks like.
live in three, two, one. We're live again. So, yeah, the ghost killed us.
It's
This thing is powerful.
So we're coming back.
yeah, I mean, this is crazy that they're censored again. I think we know after this point that it's not uh Jack Call.
Yeah,
It's
It
no,
might be
it's
Jack Call.
it's definitely
He used his name in vain.
Zach Glazer.
Could
we
be.
we apologize to Zach or Jack for Zach's getting us kicked off.
The
I
the
didn't do it.
tomo- the Tomonculus apologizes as well.
Yeah. So how many times can you get kicked off of YouTube before they won't
We're
let you
gonna
do
find
anything?
out.
We're gonna find out. And then it will be gosh darn it, Zach.
No, then it'll be gosh darn it, Ghost. You and the Ghost can do the show.
I think I'm
That
sensing some resentment.
Oh yeah,
that
plenty.
that is awesome.
That
Uh,
Ghost needs to go back to work.
That ghost is never going to work.
I know.
That ghost is retired.
It's like haunted. I have a little haunted house now.
You're living.
Will we get banned out too?
yeah, no, we really got censored and kicked off.
I
It was
know
the Ghost.
that, but it's about singing instead of actual live music.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why we got kicked off.
I do.
Okay.
It was Jack Call. We talked his name in vain. Remember?
Yeah.
Jack follows the ghost.
We're sorry, Jack.
So curb stomped, and they said they're talking about slime, and the next thing I know, we're thrown off the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, get back.
That slime was some powerful
Let's
stuff.
get back into the fight.
So the ghost is gonna slime Zach for his BS nonsense, getting us censored. It's just gonna slime the hell out of us. This just proves that he isn't cool, and he's got to do something cool to
All right, what are
actually
you
be
gonna
able
do,
to roll
Zach?
that
Come
stuff.
on, man. You did
Sorry,
roll a
slime
lot of
YouTube.
dice. Oh boy.
He's
All right.
He just went Blade Runner 2012 on us.
Okay, I read the rules, and there's something called brownie points. I started a game with 20. So
That's
a lot
true.
of you, right, that's a dice.
I'm shocked you've read the game. So the brownie points act as your experience, and when you have them too, they sort of act as your life in this game. So
Right.
you can steal them.
So-
So you can also use them to gain extra dice.
Okay. What I want to do is we have the ghost trap, right?
You do have a ghost trap.
I want to use all my brownie points all at once because that's what Ray would do.
Oh
And I
Lord,
wanna
I'm
use
gonna
that
get
ghost
sucked
trap.
into that trap.
I will. That's what I want. I want to use that ghost trap. I want to make sure that that disgusting, vile undead gets trapped in that trap, and I'm going to use all of my karma basically. to
Come
do
and
so.
get me.
All right, so I'm gonna let you do this because you'll find out. Go ahead, let's roll some dice.
Oh
Bring it on.
boy.
I need 7 more. Hold on.
Do you need a salad bowl full of dice?
I do, but I don't ever play Shadowrun.
He needs organization.
He needs less stuff, I think.
I probably. But you don't need to tell the ghost that.
I am terrified of that ghost.
I love the ghost. I feel like the ghost understands me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
Hashtag twinning.
Oh boy.
Anytime now, Ray.
Shut up.
Go
Ghost.
eat your brownie.
Oh, the ghost is gonna eat your dessert too.
You know what?
Zach says that's Casu Lane.
Yeah, we know the ghost made cassoulet once and vowed not to because the ghost was lazy. 12, 16, 20, 25, 26, 31.
This is why I played music, because we needed something in between.
Oh man, just savage.
I think we the in between is just the ghost hassling him, right?
70.
70. All right, so you managed to put it on and activate the trap. The ghost is about to slime you when this happens. Ray, what are you gonna do when Winston acts here? So Winston, what are you gonna do with this? He's
I'm,
got the
Don't you
ghost
dare!
there.
Don't you dare, Winston.
I'm gonna proton pack this guy.
All right, good.
All right, so you're gonna proton pack Ray.
No,
You can find
That
it.
that is exactly what I said.
no.
That's what I heard.
Go back. I probably deserve it, but I don't want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him right in the ding-a-ling.
Do not call these Ghostbusters. They do not know what they're doing.
I am going to
Whoa.
shoot the ghost.
Thank you.
I will deal with Ray later.
So another blast, probably dealing about $1,000 worth of damage to wherever you are. So Zach's game collection.
Yes, I am.
So actually, it's probably more. It's probably 5,000.
Yes,
Right, you.
I am going to do social damage to as much as I can. Kind of a
Social damage is
sweeping
like
and
your middle name,
hosing
though.
motion.
Social
that
damage
looks like
is
how
moving.
you go to the bathroom to sleep and
Ooh.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
what's your aim?
Is that a hernia
Dang.
joke? Real nice.
You need to aim, not sweep. Aim.
That's why I like those fuzzy carpets that go on the back of the
Right.
toilet.
Did you want to sit down to use the proton pack?
Yes.
That
I
might
do
be better.
not.
You might go everywhere.
Okay, so the difficulty is going to go up because, like we said, the ghost has seen your aim, and we know it's just
Bring it on.
horrible. So roll your fire
70 in the
weapons
roll, man.
and your
I-
muscles.
I
You can
hit
try
him
twice now.
before.
You did, but then I summoned pest to you.
We'll call
So-
it
Did.
pass. Point, aim, skeeter, stream.
All right, here we go. This is the Jack Cole roll for dice.
Oh boy.
I hear it.
Yeah.
Now we gotta wait for him to add.
Every Shadowrun player right now is so excited.
All four of them.
He's still adding.
52.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of dice. So you managed to hit this monster straight away. You see these fleshy tendrils go erect from the electricity that
Yes,
is
they
sending through it.
do.
You
And they
bastard.
do squirt
Ah.
slime and spray Ray with slime, which,
Of
if
course.
it's possible, are going to decrease his cool score by half.
Oh
since he's
man.
slimy.
I
That
didn't have a cool score, so you can't divide by 0.
You can't divide
Oh,
by zero.
we're
You
gonna
can't be any less cool. You heard it here.
I'm safe, man.
we're gonna open up a gate to another world with your dividing by 0. Oh,
That's
math
right.
joke.
An uncool world. A very uncool world where everything's a null. Yeah.
So Winston is holding this ghost sort of above the trap, trying to guide it over there. Ray, what would you like to do with your least cool self?
Well, I believe that, as I recall from the movie, I'm supposed to also use the proton pack to, I guess, basically double team the ghost, and then
Jump on the
I'll do-
trap like it's a grenade.
So the rules mechanics too in this, what they are, which are very light in this game,
yes,
and it literally says
I
at the
read them in
beginning-
a half hour, so that's how I know.
Yeah, and it literally says at the beginning too, like, if there's not a rule for this, just make some stuff up. We
Yep.
don't care.
It's
Yeah,
swords and
make-
wizardry.
It's
Ooh,
less rules than Swords and Wizardry.
Yeah.
better one.
And there's no optional rules, so
Okay,
So
do it, man.
I've used all my brownie points, and I have no skill. What do I got? So I was a 2,
you're just rolling your muscles.
so 3.
And this is because he's holding it still. We're looking at a pretty easy difficulty here. It's about a 10, so a standard difficulty. It'll be a little harder.
You're happy. You'll be happy to know it's not 10.
So another
6.
shot goes high. He tears up more of his games collection. You see a flaming copy of
I don't like it
Arduin
being
go
in my
flying,
Oh,
flying by Winston's head.
oh.
You hit my Indiana Jones game. That pisses me off.
Deflects off the plastic on his Indiana Jones game
What about the
and manages
Battle 5 Army?
to
Is that
pierce
too? Fuck.
Pierce Joran right through the center, solid hole right
Oh.
through the copy of Joran.
Boom.
Oof, ooh,
Oh.
look at that! All those
Savage.
box sets. Look at even Mike Battleato looks shocked.
Oh man. All right.
Oh my god!
Uh,
So what are we doing next here? So you are the least cool right now, Zach. We clearly covered in slime. What would you like to do this time?
I'll shoot again.
All right, he's gonna try to recover. He's just
Oh, no.
laying on the
No,
trigger,
no.
right?
I think I'm playing to lose here, dude. I'm playing to lose.
I'm holding on to this thing, man.
Come on,
It's-
shoot me.
7 again.
So we're gonna have Winston roll muscles again to try to keep wrestling this ghost towards it.
Oh man.
This
Just
is
like
the worst ghost ever.
the management of this show, all of the work is falling onto Skeeter's
Yep.
shoulders, which means Zach is managing correctly. He's doing it
Guys,
well.
Well, I have a question though. So is this ghost the gatekeeper, the keymaster of that, or that bitchy ghost in the library?
Which ghost is
I got
this? Is
23.
not. This is not. That is enough. So you begin pulling the ghost almost over the proton pack, which
I
I'm
is
ready
want
to do it
your
again. I'm ready again.
paycheck, Ray.
I'm
so
ready.
the proton pack has been deployed. It's going
I
to
did
need
it.
to be stepped on.
13.
So at this point, Ray finally gets his head in the game, manages to lasso this with another proton pack, pulls it over, and it's almost there. You guys are pulling it toward. You just need
This is
someone.
the bullshit the Ghostmaster. You guys, your rules aren't good enough for the GM because it should be have already been taken care of, and my coolness should still be intact.
I don't feel that
You
at
don't
all.
have coolness. You have
When I was
brown.
at Gary Con one time, someone argued with Tim Cass about the rules. I'm going to invoke that right now.
All right, so
Uh,
I feel like the ghost is going to summon some more purple-headed worms at you, just for saying that. I'm trying to be
boy.
cool for this. So let's roll. Oh, this ghost has a 24 with its dice. So it's really hassling you. I'm going to need you to make another muscles check to try to avoid being knocked prone by these ghosts here.
I'm coming for you.
What did you have for that?
14.
What? You're using the cheat dice again?
No, I'm using three dice.
Are you sure?
Positive. I got 7 twice in a row. I would have lied then.
I'm not sure.
Oh, savage comment from the peanut gallery. Your coolness is intact. It's still 0. Thank you. Thank you, Jason Rocky Gardner. Rocky for special guest.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I always wanted you to be special guest, and I know why.
This was going to be Rocky.
For special ghost. Rocky for special ghost.
I wanted this to be Rocky, but his coolness factor was at an all-time low today, so he wasn't able to join us.
You picked the one you picked?
Wow.
I didn't pick this
man,
ghost.
I think
this ghost picked me.
I think there are going to be ramifications of this that go on for a long time.
For a long time. I may have to write some apology cards after this game.
Please use your Christmas photo for those apology cards.
Man up and play. Come on.
So you managed to avoid these worms stuff that you guys have this thing lassoed. One of you is going to have to step on this proton pack. So do not say a word. If you want to step on the proton pack, raise your hand. All right, awesome. You're both going for the proton pack.
No,
let's both of you make.
I was pointing skier. This is not bullshit.
Let's both of you make a muscles roll to see if you can get in there.
Is this muscles or moves?
Yeah, really.
I'll give you
Ghost
for
Master.
that.
Muscles is better for me.
I'm terrible at both.
So I'm gonna hip check Ray out of the way.
I'm not favoring Skeeter in this game.
14.
20.
14. I lost.
So you guys both managed to step on this as you embrace together in a loving moment, watching this ghost disappear into a steaming proton pack. And this ghost trap that you've got right here, super hot. You look around, Zach's collection is still burning in flames. There are melted dragon dice in the corner.
What about my Dune book? What about Dune?
There's the Dune book and the new Modifius John Carter of Mars survived unscathed.
Oh, that was the one I was going to ask about.
Yeah, so that one.
Oh, my AD&D turning modules. Are they okay? Please say they're okay.
The turning modules are gone. It's say goodbye to Rahasia. Say goodbye
that's
to.
how my wife is going to retire. Now they're gone. What am I going to do?
Zach's retirement is completely gone, aflame. This, I feel for him, but this is what happens when specters appear in the home.
Yeah, those things are awful.
I think the specter's been here a long time. I just think suddenly it just manifested itself. Its true form.
Been in the attic all these years watching you collect.
We don't have an attic.
That's just scary.
The metaphorical attic, okay? It's the attic.
Attic of the mind.
It's the attic of your relationship. We'd also like to
thank dark, dank hole of our marriage.
Thank our special ghosts today, which is Jen Glazer, the wonderful flight attendant who's actually
ghost. Thank you.
Not flight attendant either.
Stuck home dealing with Zach all the time.
True.
So I feel for her. Send her well wishes, flowers, anything you can.
Yeah, tell her goes with the Gozerian will take care of her. Fuck you guys, man. Fuck you both. You and you.
Ah, I didn't know anything about this.
Why?
This was
I was
this was
suspicious
all
the
a
second-
surprise to me.
I was suspicious. There's a special guest. I'm like, this is just the kind. If I was Ian, so I went out in the living room. She was messing with the computer, but she didn't look guilty. Because normally she would look guilty. She looked fine. I'm like, okay, it's not Ian. It must be Rocky or Jacob or something. And I was like, and it was her the voice. I'm like, this is the disembodied voice of I hear all the time.
This is so Jake would be great on this too. I was going to pitch him too. We're going to be playing BattleTech, so he's warming up the other players for a BattleTech game.
Nice.
So
Right on.
which he's got a great system running. He will make an appearance on one of these shows as a creature.
Well, I want to ask some questions about the game itself, though. Like,
Sure.
You guys remember this when we came out? We were younger. I remember seeing it, but I never played it.
I never played it. This is the first time I've ever played this.
I'm not sure anybody ever played this.
Well, I saw it play at GaryCon.
It's not. So I mean,
did you, or was it Ghosts?
They're pretty straight up. It's like this cheerful game. You can't really die. You can't really the players are meant to succeed. It's really a very cinematic game in that.
It kind of says
aspect.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're not really meant to fail. Like it's hard to fail. It takes like an active presence trying to make you
I want
fail.
to say that now I know where Matt Finch stole the Tome of Adventure design from, because right here is a random table for making adventures.
Tables.
Random Adventure Generation. Matt Finch has actually ripped that off, man.
And I do say that, this box set, that base box set, comes with a bunch of adventures. And I think, I actually think with a younger audience, this would be a blast to play. So, playing with your kids, this would be a sweet box to pick up and just run them through them.
Is it dated? Things like, there's no cell phones, obviously, but anything that go to the payphone and the kids like this?
There wasn't much in there that I spotted that was dated. One of their examples is actually someone trying to eat. It's like some of their examples of gameplay are ridiculous. Someone's trying to eat a phone and how successful they could be. And you're like, what?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? But there's not much that's really terribly dated in this, I think.
I love the fact that they divide the NPCs as a cast of dozens, right? So it says.
Yeah.
Into cops, information sources, and petty irritants, and street people.
And they encourage you to sort of make up those talents too. So you could just be like I would have the talent heckling. You know what I mean? And I'd probably have 7 dice in that.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, our ghost is gone. We exorcised the spirit.
It'll be back.
It decided to leave.
It's a repeater.
That's awesome.
I find it funny they're the ad. I mean, the same era was Paranoia came out. They seem a little similar, except that Paranoia has less mainstream appeal and is a little darker. And this is actually really neat. Reading through the rules earlier, I was impressed by how much it matched the movies kind of feel.
It does.
Yeah,
and
it does.
I think that's that West End Games D6 system goes for everything. Oh, I got a ghost of my own.
Oh, little tiny person.
Yeah. So, hey, Sandy Peterson
Squirt.
wrote this. I didn't know that.
Oh, that was terrifying. She had Tom Tullis's head for a minute.
That's she's a homunculus.
So
Yeah.
Sandy Peterson, Lynn Willis, and Greg Stafford, also with Paul Murphy and Greg Kostikian.
And they really did just lift the whole West End Games Star Wars D6 system.
Right. I don't blame them. But actually, they did a nice job. This was actually much cooler than I expected it to be in terms of looking at it and seeing how it rolled in. Even though I thought the ghost you picked was more horrifying than you expected and a lot lamer than you imagined.
And I would like to plug that ghost art is by Jay Parker, and that's an original, and that he donated. He let us use that beautiful piece. I think it didn't turn out quite as what he intended, and he got harassed for it. But that's what we're all about, is harassment. So this is the perfect piece.
We got thrown off the air again.
That's what. It must have been Jay. Jay, you got him thrown off the air again.
We got busted. Ah, well.
But busted again. So I think like anytime we do
get a franchise contract here, so you can see
yeah,
it.
yeah. And this is it's funny you mentioned the contracts because when you said you wanted to run this, that was the first thing I sent you was the contracts and the liability waivers that you're supposed to sign, which I think is great. This would be a blast to play as like this is a real beer and pretzels game.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like a Rocky and Bullwinkle kind of game.
Yeah, where you're playing, you're gonna win. You're playing to have some fun and do some goofy stuff and inane stuff. Not a serious game, but definitely a blast to play.
I want to get the miniatures for this and play it as like
Do they
make
have
Alyssa play. We'll do it as a minis war game.
Well, I will plug the Ghostbusters board game that came out 3 years ago. I'm blanking on who made it because I'm tired and a parent, etc. But great new cooperative board game that you can still get in stores now. Ghostbusters board game, which is a blast. It's cooperative, so you run through, you catch ghosts, you help each other out, and that's fun. And even the kids can play that. That's
it says right here, step 3, extra talents for everybody else, and everybody's got extra talents but Ray.
I'm sorry. I thought you were more Ray than.
And at the end, it's like that's it. I look
Venkman.
for Ray. There's no Ray.
I will say that like probably a quarter of the written material is just a script of people playing too, which I found hilarious.
That's
and it's
great.
Yeah, it's all this right here.
It's pretty dry.
Oh no.
Sandy Pearson's gonna get you, dude.
That's fine. He's allowed.
Yeah.
Common terminology.
Was this Sandy's first horror game? I feel like he could. I don't think he can improve on this. I mean, he probably should stop right there at Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no,
not pursue any other horror.
No other cosmic horror at all.
I didn't know he did any work with West End though. That surprised me.
Well, West End was around for a while and did really well.
Well, they did Star Wars, and they did a.
Come on,
Kidlet. A second Homunculus.
Nope.
That's right.
Yep. She faded in and
they made a
faded out.
second Ghostbusters box. Did they not?
So they made a second one, the Ghostbusters 2 one,
Right.
which strangely enough came out right after the Ghostbusters 2 movie. They were just trying to commercialize on that.
I have
and then
copy
there's
of that, and I don't know where.
And I'm pretty sure there was one other book too that was like what was it? There was a couple other books. There was Ghost Toasties, I want to say, and then Hot Rods of the Gods, which was and Hot Rods of the Gods was interesting.
Well, this one has a screen in it, and these are the adventures. This is Ghostbusters 2: The Adventure, Apocalypse now, and Pumpkin Patch Panic.
And I will share. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. Skeeter, will it mess or stream up if I share screen here?
Probably. But
Yeah.
what difference does it make? We already got censored right in the middle
Well,
of
I won't, because Hot Rods of the Gods was more based on the like it's an adventure, but it looks way more like the Ghostbusters cartoon. If any of you
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
recall that beauty.
I vaguely remember it.
And it takes a little bit from Car Wars because you're basically doing a race in it, and driving around. And there's the Fugs, the Mercs. There's like a bunch of other stuff. And that one, the advertisements are all Star Trek. So that Star Trek adventure game.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's
So,
crazy.
Going for the high retail price of $16.95.
For this one, Ghostbusters.
I'm pretty sure that adventure was cheaper than that. I mean,
I know they had a supplement for Tobin's Spirit Guide
Mhm.
that is
Yep.
ridiculously expensive.
Well, it was cool because I have a Tobin Spirit Guide upstairs somewhere that
I haven't
in my
seen it.
disorganized collection.
Other West End games besides Ghostbusters and Paranoia were you said Star Trek made one?
Star Wars.
Star Wars was the biggest one. So, and that's Bill Slavichuk, and he basically wrote the Star Wars canon that eventually became the movies just by talking to Luke. Like that guy I think is under-recognized for the Star Wars universe and genre.
Well, that game is still going on, isn't it?
Recognized. I think
That game's great.
a lot of
that
people
game
played it, but no one. I don't think it got the recognition at the time because it came out at a weird time. I think D20 era, right after. Right?
But I see it at conventions all the time.
No,
There's
I
always
don't.
a listing for it.
Yeah.
Somebody's playing it.
And it was popular so they did a journal like that was literally a digest sized like 70-page book of adventures, gear stuff that like I remember, I must have been 12 and like used paper route money and had my mom mail in a check and I would get one quarterly. And they were awesome. Like it was everything you'd need to play for 3 months.
Wow.
And that West End Star Wars is, in my mind, one of the best games I've played.
Were most of their games based on the same kind of 6-dice system?
So I think the success of Star Wars sort of pushed that. They're like, well, the system works, and it is. It's a great system base. It's not. I mean, you look at what they were competing with. They're competing against things like GURPS and D20 that get super, especially in that area, were so crunchy, so crunchy.
You got to have a slide ruler to figure shit out.
That they said, count some D6s and pick a number. You know, the DM literally pick a number. How hard do you think it's going to be? You don't want them to do it. Make it a 50.
I bet people actually, the transition though from playing first edition AD&D or GURPS to this, or RuneQuest even, to this, was like, well, this seems like almost a toy in its games, but I think it makes a lot of fun.
It definitely does. I mean, like I said, if you haven't played the West End games, Star Wars, then you're missing out. It's a blast. The rules are great.
How do campaigns work though? See, I couldn't see Ghostbusters being an ongoing campaign very long.
I think you could do a franchise. Like if I were going to run this so first of all, I probably wouldn't run it for all adults. But if I was going to run this, I'd run it for my kids. And I'd say like, all right, you're making our local franchise of Ghostbusters. I'd
Boston.
look for some, yeah, right. Like so you're like the Boston Ghostbusters, something like that. But then I would take local legend stuff and have them bump up against stuff, or I do
take
like local sites of interest and do some stuff like that. And I think you could pass it through. I think the motivation to keep doing it would be to make enough money to pay for the damages you cause. Because there are some rules about that and some things like that.
Oh yeah, I bet. I feel like we're gonna get a lawsuit for blowing up Zach's collection.
Well, better that than you assholes come to my house when I'm dead. I always tell Jen it's like a battle of 5 armies here. It'll be like Zach's dead and all the enemies will be circling my house waiting to get the horde. I
don't know how to tell you this, Zach, but I'm in your house right now.
Okay. With a ghost?
He's behind Bottolato.
I'm right behind.
I find it interesting that whoever foresaw these simpler systems was actually a good idea. I think it made some of the games a lot more fun. Like, you ever play Toon?
Yeah. Yep.
That was similar, wasn't it?
It's similar. The mechanics differ a little bit, but same way. It's one of those pared down systems. And I think that early 90s stretch is when you started seeing some of these pared down systems starting to appear.
Well,
that people just
so much GURPS, man.
Well, I don't think anybody wanted to count their weight. And I listen, don't get me wrong. I loved GURPS. We played a lot of GURPS Old West when I was younger too. But I think the simpler systems, they're fast. They're, you don't have to do algebra. You don't have to do as much maintenance and on a character sheet and accounting, which is attractive.
I thought GURPS was the hardest thing I'd seen until I saw Aftermath.
So what game are you thinking about next that we try? Because I think we should make this a regular segment now.
We may not do it live because we get kicked off the air.
That's half the fun, though.
No, I know it is half the fun, but I think
you mentioned Bushido.
Though I think we should be undead. I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer might be fun. I think also there's the undead teenagers one. What's the one with all the?
I very much want to try Bushido because I had that box set forever and never once got to play it. I made 8,000 characters, never did a thing.
And I'll tell you, Bushido. So I've found an easier way to play Bushido because Bushido is complicated because
you use the Ghostbuster system with the Bushido rules.
No. So Bushido, you actually have moves. Like it's like playing like depending on what the other person does with their sword tactic, you have to.
Arts.
Yeah, like so you have like 70 moves, sword moves.
Oh my god.
And the best way that I've done it in the past, and I've only played that a few times, was with index cards. So you have like your dozen index cards, and then you've got to be like,
so this is just
deal out what you're playing.
This is just like Gladiator.
Yeah, I'm getting stabbed by the Vampire Slayer right there. See it? Yeah, because
if you want to do Buffy, I definitely have the ideal special guest for that one.
There's not you.
Boy.
Yeah, no, I the reason I want I think those are funny. The franchise, the ones that are obviously like money grab stuff from franchises, right?
So the danger is censorship.
Yeah, the big picture of Buffy. Even though
what's censorship? I've never heard that term before.
No,
I'll try to reach out to Sarah Michelle Gellar and see if she's willing to.
Do you have Land of the Rising Sun?
I don't have that one.
It's the other one by Fantasy Flying Games Unlimited. Same time as Bushido. They made two games of the same era, but different rules.
That's not confusing.
No, they made all kinds of stuff. They were Scott Bezar was a machine. They made so much stuff that sold so few, but they made it about everything. So,
yeah. What's he doing now?
I'm not going to. He lost a court to Jeff D. over Villains and Vigilantes, and he was a teacher in high school. He ran one of the big game stores in Phoenix, and he was teaching high school, and that's the last I heard.
Huh. We wish him well.
You know what? When I was in his store in the mid-2000s, he had all these boxes brand new, all of them. All the ones for Fantasy Games Unlimited were everywhere, and I did not realize that one, it was him, and two, they would ever be worth anything. Right? And then he had like 50 copies of each of the mini books left over that Kurt Gould pushed through WotC. And they were like $5 each at that point. And I don't need those. I pass.
Yeah.
Different era when you don't have any money and you're young too.
Yeah, well, I was old enough to have just enough, and I knew that if I bought anything like that, I'd get home, I'd get my ass beat.
Well, I think that's why your cool score was reflected.
My cool score
accurately.
Marriage, dude. That's how it works. That's why it's null.
That's the null cool score.
Right. Because my wife stole it all like a vampire.
Hey, she's a ghost.
Maybe that should be the name of this little vignette where you try out games. Null cool.
Null cool.
Null cool. Yeah, that would be accurate.
I can make it the null, kind of like the Noid from Pizza Hut. That'd be the null.
I think you should pick 4 or 5 and give the audience a poll to see what they.
I think we should actually. And I don't have a poll.
I think that Spirit that was just in this game was trying to give everybody a poll.
Yeah, she was. That was her Vampire Slayer poll because she was a big fan.
Listen, what happens in the sanctity of a marriage between two consenting adults is their business.
Interesting, I would tell you.
You would think so.
No, the other ones that I find interesting, the really weird setting ones, but they'd be hard to convey on like a show like Joroon. How do you? I mean, it's bad enough trying to explain from the GM to the player. Try to imagine having to watch.
I put the cover of the book as a pop-up, just like Creeping Cold sitting right there.
You get a copyright strike.
Well, I think you try to use some art. You try to use some. Yeah. I mean, we will be. I will be soliciting some assistance from artists if they'd like to donate some rough sketches and stuff to convey some of the things we're doing. Like I said, again, thanks Jay Parker for that original art of his.
I would like to say right now that my likeness is not allowed. The show already has my name in it. I'm going to trademark my likeness, so you cannot make parody comics about me as these. It's not going to work.
We have already done so. I'm sorry. You're.
Look, I want to. If we're going to do this, we should have an overarching enemy. It should be Tom.
Why is it Tom? Tom is a force for good in the world. That's why my 3D printer is working right now.
That's why your 3D printer.
Because of Tom Tullis.
Because you're too done to run it yourself. I know. I get it.
Yes, that is.
Right, well, I think we should. I definitely think we should do this again. I think we should pick another strange system.
Yeah.
So I do think we should talk about the system first, a little bit about the rules, and then play it.
Well, I think it depends on the system.
Yeah, that's fair.
So for sure, like when I looked at when I was rereading the rules for Ghostbusters, it's like shit. Like you get no prep for this. This is going to be. I want the ghost to interrupt as I'm attempting to teach you the system. I want it to just hit the floor.
And what you should have done, honestly, you should have just said, we're going to use the main screen of Skeeter's. We don't need this gallery view. and then let the ghost just sit there because I had no idea then. I would have been flipped out.
Oh, geez.
Well, the goal was to shock you. I think we managed.
I think we managed that.
She actually did a good job when I went out there, acting like nothing was happening.
She did a great job as the ghost too, because my instructions.
Ghost. Yes, I know.
My extensive was hassle the players.
Yeah, well, she did.
Yeah.
She was more like one of those like insult comics to the players.
That is accurate.
But I think she did a good job. She's the real star here.
My feelings aren't hurt at all. Your feelings are hurt.
Whose?
I don't know.
Ian doesn't have feelings. His urges.
Yeah. That is true.
All right, guys. Well,
right, guys.
I think we're going to wrap up before we get censored again. This has been a lot of fun, and this is going to be something we do again. We'll have to figure out exactly how we're going to do it. And I'm going to start downloading all of our videos off of YouTube, because if we get booted, we'll just upload them somewhere else.
Well, somewhere else and nobody watches them there too.
Yeah.
Pornhub.
So, yeah. All right.
It actually might work.
Thank you for watching.
Janet job.
For Zach, I am Skeeter. Thank you, Ian. And
Thank you, Ian.
we are out of here.